Welcome to 2-Minute Mechanics. Today we're going to be talking about subject-verb agreement with German grammar. Our focus today will be on verbs and how they give speech motion, and how their spot in the sentence communicates certain things about what we want to say. Verbs are what make the labyrinthian sentence structure of Goethe, who would sometimes write sentences that were pages long, and also books like Stephen King's Cujo, which is suspenseful throughout the entire book, having less than 10% of it to do with the killer dog. This lesson is broken up into two main categories, namely statements and questions. The basic rule of thumb is that the verb takes up the second position in the sentence, linking the subject and the direct object or its clauses. The following is our first example. Er hat seine Hausaufgabe, or he has his homework. In this example, the verb has links the subject and the direct object. Our second example is slightly more complex but serves the same purpose. Ich gebe ihm den Kuli represents I gave him the pen, having a direct object as well as an indirect object being the person who received the pen. I strongly suggest stopping the video and analyzing the sentence structure to see if it makes sense. Second main category is questions. When asking questions, the verb tends to go at the beginning of the sentence, usually signaling a question is coming on. Our first example, brauchst du etwas, asks the question, do you need something? And in this case, the verb comes at the beginning of the sentence, followed by the subject, you, and then the pronoun, something. Our last example is one of the first things we learned to say in German, Wie geht es dir? And with the simple rules that we learned, we can break it down and diagnose what each of the words mean. Wie here is the adverb that describes gehen, or to go. Es dir are both pronouns, meaning it and you. So describing this entire sentence, Wie geht es dir means how goes it you, or how are you doing? Now don't worry if you find a sentence that you can't work on. I mean, come on, the most prolific writers wrote sentences that were pages long, so there's a bit of a learning curve. Take your sentences and break them down into little pieces that you know. Breaking sentences down into their simple constituent parts not only helps you understand what they're saying, but also kind of telegraphs what you're going to be seeing in the next sentences as well. So have fun, experiment, even with sentences that are big and you don't quite understand at first. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you next time on 2-Minute Mechanics.